Leo, there's been a few players you've had out in the lineup for, in some cases, a couple games, in some cases, a while. Is there any injury update?
We a lot of new faces in the lineup tonight. So Noah Oslin will be in, first time in a couple months. So we're excited to get him back. Consta, unless something goes wrong in warmups, he'll be in. Anton Wahlberg will be back, and Brendan Morin will be back.
How exciting is that for you, all those guys?
Yeah, you never. I think it's the first time, and I was talking to Jason about. I think it's the first time and since the fourth game of the year where we've had, kind of our full lineup. Tyson Kozak will be game time decision, but he should be able to go.
I think people may need reminded, because it's been so long since Austin. You were saying at the beginning of this season that he was one of the best players in that training camp up in Buffalo that you had. So, I mean, how much of an impact can he bring to this lineup?
He, minus the, I would say, production, if you look at his stat line, he had 1 point in 6 games. That doesn't wow you, but if you look at the amount of scoring chances he created, the position that he plays, for his age, how responsible he is in his own zone. He was outstanding on the penalty kill. He's tenacious in his own way. He wins a lot of pucks back. He's relentless on the puck. He makes players around him better. Something as a coach I value, other than your goalie and your D, you got to be really good up the middle, and it's good to have him back to help us transport pucks and create offense.
Maybe a bit of an open-ended question, but you being in the USHL and having worked with so many prospects, what excites you when you see a young player here in terms of how you can help them reach their potential?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's these players. We have a lot of high-end talented players. I think my job is to help them, not let them play with their natural gifts. Like I've been telling you all year, I'm a big on the habits and details built within your game that you need to play at the next level. And I think, Cozy going up for that little segment is a great example of when you do things right and you play the game the right way, you ultimately get rewarded. And I think some of our younger players, if you look at Consta, his last weekend that he played that 3-game stretch on the road where we won those 3 games, he was outstanding away from the puck. It's probably the best he was in the D zone. And then you look at the stat sheet, he had 5 points in 3 games. So for me, it goes hand in hand. If you want the puck and you want to play offense, you got to get it back or defend really well. So he's done a really good job of that, or constantly on him. Anton Wahlberg's made strides in the game that he needs to play to be successful. A lot of our younger players, but it's exciting because you have a huge impact on, these guys are really young. A lot of them could still be playing in the USHL, so yeah, it's really important for myself and our staff to, our job is to, these guys to help us win and then help develop them. So whenever that day comes down the road, that they could be ready.
2 more on my end. You just played this team 2 days ago. Any adjustments you're looking for?
Yeah, a few things. We got to get out of our zone cleaner. Not that we, if you look at the scoring chances for the game, the Great East, we were, probably 2-1, but and we got to support the puck better, entering in the zone, so then we could, this team, you got to kind of plot your way from your own zone to the neutral zone into their zone. You got to play a really disciplined game in the way you need to play. At times we were good, but we we also got to manage the puck better. They're the number one team in the league, and they don't give up odd man rushes. They don't give you 3-on-2, so you really got to earn your way into the O zone. If you look at Murr's goal, that's how you need to score goals against this team.
I want to have is Ethan Prowl was hurt at the beginning of the year, then in and out of the lineup. You've given him consistent playing time. What has that veteran presence done?
He's for one, he's a great person. He's a great teammate. The way he's handled this situation, being in the depth, started the season 7 or 8, and we knew, especially with our league guys getting called up, that eventually, he was going to play. He's done a great job for us moving pucks. He's a really smart player, but he's a pro. He does it right every day. He practices hard, brings a lot of energy to the room. So he's really helped us when he's been in the lineup. He'll be in the lineup tonight again.
Did I miss it? Did you mention Rathbone's injury?
Yes, he'll be in the lineup tonight. It's more of a day-to-day.
Duffer, do you have anything for Leo?
Maybe just with everyone back, how easy was it to, reformat the lines? Obviously, you had a base to work with earlier in the year, but when this kind of goes on, and you're without guys for a while, does it change how you view certain players with certain players?
No, it's a good question. First I will say, like, during that stretch when we, when we were 7 out of 8 games we won, there's a lot of guys that came in and stepped up big time. Fiedler, Schultz, and those guys. But there's been some chemistry with, before Consta was out of the lineup, that 3-game road trip, Rosie, Rusek, and Helly were playing together. And then Brett Murray has been on a run lately with the goal scoring, and Neuchev, and then we're going to play Noah Oslin there tonight. And then hopefully Tyson Kozak will be with Anton Wahlberg and Yabo. So if you look at the depth of our lineup, and then arguably Duffer, if you look at our fourth line, if you want to call them fourth line, I think they got 17 goals this year, Dunner, Slags, and Warren. So if you look at our scoring from 1 to 4, every line's about over 15 goals. So I think that's why we've had a lot of success, with the balance of the lineup every night. We start Dunner's line a lot of games just because they give us a lot of momentum shifts, but they're also producing, and they change momentum in games, whether it's after a goal or you need a kind of shift to tilt the ice, and they've been outstanding. But it's nice to get the guys back in the lineup. It's been a while.
We were kind of kidding, just away from the rink. Is there like the way you construct, like putting out the roster on the day of the game, and then, as you know, in this world of media, it gets shared on social media, and it's like, hey, here's our lineup tonight. And I feel like it looked like you purposely rewarded the Slaggards and Warrens of the world by elevating them on that chart. Do you do that internally in the room? Like, does it so the guys know the impact?
There's a little bit of that. I'm a big believer in not so much like the mind games of like guys seeing it, but like if those guys, there was a stretch stuff for those guys. If you look at their plus minus in production, each player is on pace for career years. During that stretch where we had a lot of guys out of the lineup, they were our best line most nights. And I think it's just for myself being the first time coaching pro hockey. I'm a young coach. That's what I believe in, and you reward guys that play the game the right way. And mind you, those guys aren't on the power play, so if they're getting 14, 15 minutes a night as a fourth line, I'm playing them a lot 5-on-5, and they've earned it. And I think our team sees it, and I just think it's important for the group to to understand that if you're going, you're going to play. And Fiedler Schultz is another great example. He was healthy scratch, I think 14 games in a row. There was a lot of difficult conversations, but that next man up mentality, he came in, I think he's got 5 points in 10, 11 games. Played him a couple nights, 16 minutes, because he earned it, used him in penalty kill situations. I just think it goes a long way with the group of who we want to be. And obviously my job is to develop the young talent, but also understand that, it's got to be earned. You got to play the game the right way to ultimately get rewarded. And like I was talking about Consta last weekend, his play away from the puck, and you go his defensive play, and then he gets 5 points on the weekend. I think it goes hand in hand, and up and down the lineup, there's been a lot of guys that have really stepped up and played really good hockey for us.
Awesome. Thank you.
So